love. Are you all right, Doc?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Did you have a good journey?
Oh, yeah, lovely, thanks.
Just hang your coat.
OK, love. There we are. Oh, new curtains. Very nice.
Yeah, treated myself. Got cushion covers to match.
Oh, how lovely, Hilda.
Sit down, Betty.
Oh, thanks,
I'll fetch
love.
the tea.
Right.
Only just made it.
OK. Have you heard from your Trevor? You know, since the last time I came.
No. He's very busy, of course.
I'll bet.
Got a new house, though. Yeah, Polly sent me a copy of the estate agent's details.
Oh, lovely.
Got a very big garden.
Hey.
How about your garden?
Well, I had a phone call last night and, well, he sends his best wishes to you.
Oh, that's nice. Has he been up to see you?
Well, no. Well, you see, he's very busy as well. I'll tell you who I have heard from, though.
Go on.
You'll be very interested. Here, it's from Bet.
Oh, where's it from? Oh, I don't know where my glasses are. What's it say?
Oh, not much. It says, missing all the rain and the fog. I'm working in a bar with someone who reminds me of Eddie Yates, Long Bet. She does.
All right
Okay.
for some, eh?
Well, she seems happy enough, you know.
Yeah. Hey,
What?
Spain. Isn't that where Elsie Tanner ended up?
No, that were Portugal. She went there, you know, with that fella from the Navy. He had that little wine bar, you know, on the Algarve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
What?
Elsie Tanner's the only woman I've ever known that made a profession out of getting married.
You're not jealous, are you?
Of Elsie Tanner? I've never thrown myself at a fella. No, from the moment I fell over my stand in the blackout, I was a one-man woman. Not like that Rita Fairclough Madame Toffee shop. Nobody can have hair that big and stay level-headed.
Oh, dear.
Like that other pair of painted dolls, Bet Lynch and Elsie Tanner. Yeah.
Fleming's in their new house if we ever get there.
Well, we could always stop on an off licence and buy a bottle on the way, couldn't we?
Good idea, yeah. Get you in trim for the real heavy drinking.
Cheers.
Cheers, love. You all right now?
Of course I'm all right. I'm always all right, aren't I? Unthinkable. Used to go out with a fellow who said he put me in the dreadnought class.
Ray's going to get all his stuff out while we're at the do.
Yeah. And the next time I take a lodger, it'll be a nice, quiet, unmarried mother.
What was it, after all?
Just had a go, that's all. Look, he's a kid. That's all. A young horse in a new field.
Then why did you stick me onto him? Why was it necessary that I had to go and thump him one?
Because I'm sick of it, that's why. I'm sick of everybody thinking I'm fair game. Sick of everybody trying to put the boot in my door. Just because I live on my own, they think I'm anybody's meat for fourpence. They all have a go at me. The butcher, the baker, the combman, the lousy, rotten candlestick maker.
You've always been able to look after
I'm
yourself.
sick of looking after myself. I can't go on looking after myself forever. You know, there might not be much left worth protecting, but if anybody's going to treat me like dirt, I'm going to have a go at them, aren't I?
Oh, let me do it for you.
Yes, if you will.
Yes, I will.
Not just Ray. It's everything. He's going to be all right.
Yeah, of course he's all right. If he wants to kip down, he can get in the yard under a sporting pink, can he? But what about you? You don't sound as if you've been sleeping too well lately.
No, I think I'm due for hearing burglars any minute now. It's time I had a bout like that. The last fella, that was 1966.
Well, if you won't have me to look after you permanently, who are you going to have?
I don't know, Lem. I'll tell you that for certain. You know, I want a fella, but they seem to think that I ought to want them all. And that I ought to go down on my knees with gratitude because they still fancy me.
Does someone like Ray attract you?
I didn't encourage him.
I didn't say you encouraged him.
Of course someone like Ray attracts me. And not just him. Him and all his gang, the new crop of fellas look very good to me. Look, if it's all right for you to look at a bird in miniskirts and go, yum, yum, then I'm not going to be ashamed of liking to look at young men.
Well, you didn't encourage him.
That's what I mean. Of course I didn't encouragement. But if I like fellas, it's healthy. It doesn't mean to say that I'm easy meat for all of them.
If you smile at fellas, they're bound to fancy you, you know. Maybe it's human nature.
I'm going to go on fancying them until I'm about 77. I still feel just as cracked and know just as little as when I was 17.
Nobody's going to laugh at you for that.
Oh, some of them do. Just look at her, skirts up to here, still at it. They win in the end, you know.
No, they don't. They just curl up and die.
Aye, so you say. Ah, well. Come on, Sugarloaf, so we're going to that party, aren't we? Besides, I might see a nice fellow I fancy, besides you.
Well, if you do and he puts his hand on you, don't cry wolf like you did with Ray.
I've got to cry so much soon. Hey, you know, I've had trouble with fellas ever since I was 4 years old. 4 years old. You know what my first boyfriend did to me?
No, what did your first boyfriend do to you?
He was 5 years old. He threw me knickers up a tree.
Well, I suppose there are more than one way of saying I love you.
Hey, drinking? Rye? You rye, please?
On the rocks. What's his name again?
Gary Strauss.
I won't refuse him a quick waltz in the Vienna woods. Oops! Sorry, Captain. A story of my life, that always backing into things.
What was in there?
Oh, no, it was my fault.
No, come on.
A gin and tonic.
Can I have a gin and tonic, please, for,
Bet Lynch.
Very glad to know you.
Hi.
Shall we,
Yes. It's easiest pie when you know how, isn't it?
I'm afraid that approach was somewhat too blatant for me.
Well, it's not exactly my style either, but it does cut a few corners, doesn't it?
Like a steamroller.
By heck, you can shift him when you want to, can't you? Eh? Nothing. What's your opinion of fellas, Bet? Pretty low. Do you reckon it's you with them? Come again. Their fault or yours? Theirs, definitely. I sometimes wonder, though. What? If it's not mainly down to us. I mean, we chase after them from practically first day we can walk. Maybe we should leave them alone a bit more. I've tried playing hard to get, love. It were a disaster. See you. Well, that's my tea break over. Roll on dinner time.
It's that man from the factory.
You what?
Well, I think his name's Mike Baldwin. You know, him that owns the new clothing factory.
Really? Can I help you?
Just looking for something to read.
Oh, I didn't think you tycoons ever had the time.
No, then. Thought I'd just relax tonight.
With a book?
What else?
Well, I wouldn't have thought you were short of idea. What sort of books do you like? Westerns? Thrillers? Confessions of a shop assistant?
Alistair McLean do me.
Yeah, me too. I've just got a fresh lot in. Mavis, in that box under the counter. Hey, have you got any jobs down at that factory of yours for two bored but very beautiful ladies?
Rita, really?
You just get on with Alistair McLean and leave Mr. Baldwin with me.
I'm happy where I am.
You liar. Have you got any vacancies?
Not really, but I suppose I could create one for you.
I were hoping you'd say that.
And arrange the interview at, say, the Gatsby.
I knew you didn't read Alistair McLean every night.
I'll take this one.
Thank you. I don't really want a job in the factory, and neither does she.
Who's been talking about jobs in the factory? See you, Ginger.
Well, that's brightened me day.
I don't know how you've got the nerve flirting like that. He's a married man, you know.
I didn't, but I could have guessed. Best ones usually are.
Alfie, come and get it. There you are, love. Bread chop on time this morning, was it?
Yes.
Oh, must have been sober for once last night.
Must have been.
Oh, come on, Alf. We're not going to have silent meals, are we? We're not wed, you know.
I'm talking. What's wrong with you?
Oh, you could have fooled me. It's been yes, no ever since I got up this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you wanted an intelligent conversation. I mean, that's not like you, is it? Not first thing in the morning. All we usually get in the morning is a cloud of smoke and a cough.
My, that was sarcastic for a big, happy, smiling grocer.
You've not heard anything yet. If
I what? Go on, Alf.
You know well enough.
Des.
Yes, Des. I haven't got enough blooming common sense to put in a thimble.
Oh, he's a fool now, is he, Des? A fool for getting mixed up with me, presumably?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And you're a fool for getting mixed up with him and all, because no good could come of it, Bet. It can't. He's a married man, and he also happens to have a public position.
Oh, he's only a councillor, for God's sake.
He's very well known, though. He can't afford too many scandals.
Scandals? You sound like something out of Jane Austen. Everybody's at it in this flipping town.
I'm not.
Well, anyway, what do you mean, too many scandals?
Well, he's no saint, isn't Des?
Oh, I didn't think he was, love. He's a fella, isn't he? Look, the first wink came from him, Alf. Not from me. OK, so I winked back. But in my book, that's Queensberry rules, married or not.
Oh, and is it Queensberry rules to bring him round here?
And that's what's really upsetting you, isn't it?
It's a bit embarrassing, Bet, yeah. I mean, I do know his wife. Oh, no, it's not that, though. It's just that no good can come of it. I can see it all ending badly, in tears.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it, Alf. It'll probably be me who's doing the crying. It usually is, love.
Oh, morning.
Listen to this, Hilda. She felt as though an electric current ran through her. Her very skin tingled, alive and sensitive, as he stood there, close enough for her to breathe in the warm, musky maleness of his body. Her bones turned to liquid as his strong, powerful fingers began to gently unfasten the tiny buttons of her blouse.
Warm, musky maleness of his body. Sounds like he needs a good wash to me.
Has it ever happened to you, though, Hilda?
Certainly not. Anybody touching my tiny buttons would have got a smack across his chops.
Oh, come on. You must have had some magic moments that set you all a-quivering.
If I have, I keep them to myself. Don't go splashing them all over the Sunday newspapers, like everybody else seems to do these days.
You're only telling me.
It's the same thing. Annie Road, what's got into you today?
Well, I just felt in need of a strong dollop of romance. Naturally, I would have preferred the real thing. But unfortunately, you can't pick up husky fellas off the top of a counter for 95p.
It's yesterday, isn't it?
Is it? I thought it was today. Then again, we could both be wrong.
Oh, no, I mean what's brought this on. Going to weddings always affects me like that and all. Well, mind you, in this case, it was more of a jilting.
Don't let's have a post-mortem on that again, Flower. Topic got chewed to bits enough in here last night to last me a lifetime.
She'll just have to face it, you know. She's doomed never to be a bride.
Do you know something, Col?
What?
I think that's about the one and only thing me and Maeve have got in common.
She's had a tough life, though, you know, Rita.
Landed on her feet all right when Len died, though, didn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, nice little house, building firm, and the cabin.
Yeah. It's not the same, though, is it, having someone to love? I mean, a bit of security's all right, but I'd far rather have someone there to change a fuse and lock up at night, you know. She's thrown in a lot, you know, with Alec Gilroy. Oh, aye. They've had a door put in between their flats. For convenience, I say.
By the heck. First back legend, now Rita Fairclough. He doesn't do things by halves, does he? And to look at him, you wouldn't think he had the energy.
I know. Well, I hope they have some happiness together.
Yeah. You know, Betty, I can't say I was surprised when you told me about Beth disappearing like that.
Oh?
I was surprised she stuck it so long. I mean, she was never what you'd call a natural landlady. Oh, she was all right, stood up behind the bar, showing everything God gave her and looking like a Christmas tree. But she were nothing compared to Mrs. Walker. Oh, now there was a lady. She ran that pub like a captain on a ship. One or two round here like her, you know. All lace curtain accents and brown bread with bits in. Very classy like.
You used to call her rotten behind her back. You said she was stuck up and put it all on.
Ah, no, now be fair,
You did?
Betty. No, we were always very close, me and Mrs. Walker. Oh, the number of times we've stood behind that bar, me polishing the top and her watching, admiring me handiwork. Mrs. Ogden, she used to say. Mrs. Ogden, I can say without fear of contraception that your cleaning skills are unique. Unique, that's a very word she used. Oh, yes. Got some very fond memories of Mrs. Walker and the Rovers.
Yeah.
Very fond.
I've been there nearly 30 years, you know. I've seen them all come and go. Mrs. Walker, Mr. Walker, Bet, Alec, Fred G. Oh, yes, Jack, Vera, Liz MacDonald and Raquel. She was my bridesmaid, you know, and I married Billy. I showed you the photos.
Yes, yeah.
Phew, there's been some comings and goings behind that bar.